is Chad Wien, Superintendent of Mad River Local Schools, and today we are at Mad River Middle School and we're with our new STEM program, the Project Lead the Way pre-engineering STEM program that we have here, offering all kinds of great opportunities for our students. So joining me today I have Aaron Hughes and Cheyenne Jones, and they're going to talk to us a little bit about their experience in the STEM program. So Aaron, talk to me a little bit about what you've experienced so far in STEM and Mr. Bishop and the enthusiasm that you guys have with this class.
Well, it's been fun and learned a lot about engineering, and it's going to be good for me if I go into like engineering in high school.
Okay.
Really help me in the future.
So you really like that engineering aspect and just learning about the different fields of engineering.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. And then Cheyenne, I know you guys have done several projects in there. What are some projects that you guys focused on? Because I went in there like the first week of school and you guys are already engaged in a project in that classroom.
Well, we've been working on like rockets where we go outside and we shoot them and we see who can get like the furthest in accuracy.
Okay.
Did skimmers where you slide across the hallway and whoever gets farthest gets like a reward or something.
Okay, so we did rockets and skimmers, kind of like hovercrafts as they go across the floor. And then even that first week, you guys engaged in a project. As soon as you came into that classroom, do you remember that and what you guys had to do with that?
Yeah.
What did you actually have to do with your project?
Well, what do we do?
Well, we had to shoot them. Like we had to build them first. We had to
Oh, our
the
rockets.
steps and everything.
Yeah, we had to go over like the steps on how to, we had to define a problem, and then we had to think about a solution for the problem, and then we had to build a prototype, and then evaluate a prototype, and then test it.
Okay, very good. So what I'm hearing is you guys really go through that whole like scientific method, right? You identify a problem, then you work on problem solving, which is critical in STEM in the Project Lead the Way class, and then as you solve the problem, you kind of test the solution and see if it works, and if not, you go back and you fix it. So that's really cool. Would you guys say you're having an awesome experience in this classroom?
Yeah, it's really exciting and different.
Exciting and different, and that's the goal, trying to do something exciting and different, moving our kids in a different direction than just simply and sit and get academic settings, but giving them opportunities, which is part of our mission, providing educational experiences and diverse opportunities for our students. So guys, thank you so much for joining me, and it sounds like you're having a fantastic time in our STEM class, and I can't wait to hear what you guys are doing next. So thank you very much, Aaron, and thank you, Cheyenne. Here we are in Mr. Bishop's classroom, and as you know, we just talked to Cheyenne and Aaron out in the hallway about some of the really cool projects we're doing here in Project Lead the Way in Mad River Middle School. So rather than just talk about it, let's see what these things look like. So Mr. Bishop, would you like to kind of talk about the projects? You have a rocket here, you have a skimmer. We invited Austin Womack to talk to us too about how this even worked. And guys, go ahead and just take it away and talk to the audience here in Mad River about what occurred when you guys worked through these projects.
Let's start here with our air-powered rocket lab. We are currently talking about the engineering design process, and we took a look at the 6 major steps. The first step is to define a problem, and the problem that my students had to solve was to design a rocket that could achieve the greatest distance. So what you're looking at here is the mechanism we used to test those rockets out. So after the students designed the rocket, we had students assigned different rocket lengths. We fired all of those rockets. We collected data over 30 different shots. And when that was finished, the students had to analyze their data, and then they had to build the perfect rocket that could go the farthest distance. And so each student worked in groups of 2, and they were able to build a rocket of their choice. And we put it on the launcher. We got a little air pump right here so we can place 20 psi, pounds per square inch of pressure inside this bottle. And we've got a little trigger mechanism that we hit that launches the rockets through the air. So we did a few things with this. We measured the distance they traveled, and as we collected that data, we compared each of our 8th grade classes and each of our 7th grade classes to keep track of who had the greatest mean average distance. So students have to calculate the mean averages. We had individual prize winners. And the cool thing about the lab is they can change and manipulate the rocket as many times as they want after they build that prototype, which is part of the challenge. We want to fire it, we want to measure for accuracy, and we also want to revise it and retest, which is a major aspect of the engineering design process.
So Aaron and Cheyenne, they talked to us in the hallway a little bit about the rocket project. So Austin, can you describe in depth just your experience with the project? Mr. Bishop talked about designing rockets different length. You guys are measuring different things. How did you come up with the perfect rocket for your group?
Well, coming up with the perfect rocket was usually depending on what other people had gotten for their rockets, and we took that data and used it for ours. So if their data was near the same or better for what fit our group's rocket, then we would use theirs for ours. So, like for example, we used 6 fins, then we kept going down one by one, took 1 fin off after each test, and then once we collected the data and so if there's 6 fins and it got say 200 feet, and we took no fins and it got 150 feet, then we would use 6 fins for the most distance, if we wanted to do the most distance out of that.
Okay, so there was a lot of just looking at data, interpreting data, making good informed decisions based on that data. How cool was that? This is going on in 7-8, in our 7-8 building here, 7th and 8th grade. And then, Mr. Bishop, you have a skimmer there, so talk a little bit about the skimmer project. That's also a project that both Aaron and Cheyenne had mentioned in the hallway when we talked to them prior to coming into the classroom.
Well, the skimmer is a pretty cool project. It's really used to reinforce measuring skills. And so we gave the kids a sheet that had dimensions of 3 basic parts to make up a skinner. We've got a body panel, we've got fins, we've got something called an air scoop at the bottom. And what happens is the kids have to draw and measure their own air scoops on a vanilla file folder. So we cut those out, and then we also have to tape them together, and we take them out in the hallway, and they're really neat. You kind of throw them like a bowling ball, and as you throw it, it actually skims across the floor. This little air scoop, when air goes in the nose of this skimmer, the air scoop, you can see it kind of angles down to the floor, so it funnels that air down to the ground, and that in turn pushes the skimmer up, so it has a hover effect. And so the students had the opportunity to change and manipulate these skimmers to achieve the greatest distance. I believe right now Josh Copa has our distance record. It ended up traveling over 87 feet down the hallway. So you got to be careful, and you got to take advantage of the friction here. The fluid friction is what helps push the air down and then helps the skimmer hover. But then you got to be careful you don't have too much sliding friction, because if you get too much of your skimmer dragging across the ground, it can slow the skimmer down, therefore hurting its performance. So it's kind of neat to watch the students change and manipulate their skimmers to manipulate their performances.
Awesome. So a ton of great opportunities here. Mad River Middle School, we're doing great things with STEM. This is only one of 3 STEM classes we offer, and we're just so happy that we can give our kids these type of opportunities in Mad River Local School. Thank you.